Well, it's launch day for Marvel Mystic Mayhem, and I hope your first day has been great. I've logged into my test account here on the test realm so that I could go through a little bit of a beginner's guide for day one. And what I'm not going to do is focus on the combat. The game does a pretty good job of explaining the combat to you. I don't think we need a guide for that yet. We'll see as it gets more complex in the higher levels. But you can see on my test account, I was able to make it to level 26 in the first 2 days of playing around and kind of getting to know all of the game modes and all of the different features that you unlock as you level up. So far on day one, I've only gotten to level 19 on my main account. So I thought that what I would do is rather than focusing on the combat, why don't we take the features as they're unlocked and kind of go through them one level at a time and talk about what that's going to mean long term. And you might be a little overwhelmed by everything that's happening. So what I'm going to do is take this level by level and we're going to break it down piece by piece. What we're not going to do is spoil any storylines. We're not going to try to cover everything that you see on the screen. So let's get started with level one. So with level one, I want to go over the concept of a hero level. In the top left corner here, I do have level 26 as my account level. And so what that means is that all of my heroes can be leveled up to the same level as my account level. So the highest that any of my heroes could level up to right now would be level 26. So if I come into Emma Frost and I click this level up button, now Emma Frost is level 26. And if I go back to my heroes, she no longer has that level up arrow in the top right corner, showing that she now matches the max level and she can't go any higher than that. Now for level 2, let's talk about Dream Gems and Tactic Reports, or better known as just experience. How you're going to earn experience for your heroes in this game to take Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur here from level 25 to level 26. I need coins and I need these tactic reports. So at level 2 is when we first start to unlock access to Dream Gems and these tactic reports, or the whole concept of leveling up your heroes with experience. So to better understand Dream Gems, we'll come up in the corner and we'll open up our inventory. And you'll see the Dream Gems up here in the top right. It says I currently have 285. And again, this is pulled from a lot of different sources. Once you have the premium Dream Stones, you can then turn those into Dream Gems. Dream Stones will come from microtransaction purchases. So the question now is, what are these Dream Gems used for? Hold on just a second. We're going to get to that. Level 3, keys. So level 3 is when you acquire your first key, a shadow key. There are two different types of keys in this game. There's both a shadow key and a great key. These are both used in the pull system that we're going to get to in a little bit, but just know that these are how you're going to acquire new heroes and something else that we'll talk about in a little bit called highlights. For now, go ahead and just save these, stock them up. You should, by the time you get to use them, you should have about 18 of the shadow keys. You shouldn't start with any of the great keys yet. We'll get to that. Level 4, you're just getting some basic rewards. There's nothing extra to talk about here. Level 5, level up rewards. Every time that you level up, you're going to receive some rewards. And early on, it's kind of just displayed to you as this kind of pop-up overlay over top of your game. But starting at level 5, you will actually need to go claim those level up rewards by clicking on your team name, account name. You'll see your team level, account level, and here is where you would go into each level and you'll go ahead and collect those level up rewards. There is going to be a prompt at some point to, I think it's some sort of extra transaction where you can get more for your level up rewards. That's up to you if you want to do that. Level 6. Again, nothing to cover here. but don't worry, this is the last time. Level 7, events and missions. Level 7, we unlock what are called events. In other games, events might mean special campaign, one-off game modes. So far in here, events just seem to be different time-based things. So for instance, we have this first step kind of login reward system that we've seen in other games, and this is labeled as an event, where every day we're coming in and we're claiming one of these items. The Eye of Nightmare event. This seems to insinuate that we are only going to be able to raid the Eye of Nightmare for a limited amount of time. Time Reversal event. This specifically is talking about how the game is allowing us to reset our heroes, one of my favorite features. I am a little sad that this is a time-based event. I would like this to be permanent. It is definitely a really, really cool feature that I could invest a bunch of resources into the characters that I'm first given at the beginning of the game. Characters like Hulk, characters like Sleepwalker, who eventually I feel like I would rather use armor instead of Hulk, and I would rather use Emma Frost instead of Sleepwalker. So I'm not punished for putting my resources into those heroes early on. In some games like Marvel Strike Force, you kind of feel bad if you invest resources into a hero that you end up abandoning, or the meta itself leaves that hero behind. I haven't had to worry about that with Mystic Mayhem, and I'm hoping that this time reversal, maybe they reverse their decision on that and they allow it to be permanent. But again, for events, it just seems like it's anything that's based on a specific time. It could be an overall passive effect like this. It could be an actual game mode like the Eye of Nightmare within the Nightfall game mode. Or it could be some sort of login system. We'll see how events change as we go along, but that's what Mystic Mayhem is considering events. Now, as far as missions, for missions, we don't have to go through our separate menu here. With missions, we actually get a permanent icon on the home screen. And there are daily missions, and then there are main missions. And for daily missions, these are going to reset every day. You're going to get, I believe it is 5 missions, 5 to 6 here, and I only have to complete 4 of them. So I can pick and choose which ones I want to focus on, which ones more align with the kind of gameplay that I'm going to be doing anyway. For main missions, these are more ongoing. I'm assuming these are like a one-time kind of thing. Once you get through phase 1, you move on to phase 2, and once you complete phase 2, you move on to phase 3, etc., etc. And these seem to go along with your team level, and as we know, the final level right now is 70, and these missions are asking you to reach team level 60. So those are our missions. That is separate from this special 7-day missions, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit. Level 8, branch story. So if you've been playing in the main storyline, you most likely at this point are finishing up chapter 1 when you hit level 9. And so once you hit level 9, you now open up branch story. Correction, level 8. And what that allows you to do is switch here from our main storyline to the branch storyline, which also has its own set of chapters. Unlock chapter 1, these 5 missions under the branch storyline, and complete those separately. You will see different missions, daily missions as part of the 7-day mission system, and your main missions that will say things like complete a branch storyline. Level 9, 7-day missions, battle Bonanza, and save teams. Well, we've unlocked quite a lot here at level 9. First up is the 7-day missions. The way that this is baked into the system as a reward for leveling up makes me think this is not just for launch week. This is something that every new player will experience, and we'll see if it's always Storm. But the reward here is a free 3-star hero that you do not have to use any keys to pull for. You just get Storm by completing all of these missions. I do want to correct myself there. It doesn't seem like you need to complete all of them. It seems like the missions themselves are awarding you X points. So in day 1, I completed 6 of these. And on day 2, I completed another 2, 4, 6. So that's 12. And on day 3, I've already completed 3. That's 15. And on day 4, another 2. That's 17. And so that's why I have 17 marks down here. I need to get to 40. So 6 plus 6, 24, 30, 36, 42. So it doesn't look like you need to complete everything in order to unlock Storm, but along the way you're going to get some other cool unlocks as well. And again, these are kind of similar to the other missions. It's just trying to help keep you on track and guide you when you're always wondering, what should I be doing next? You can always come up and look at your missions as far as something that you need to do, or your 7-day missions, and you can just click on the Go button, and it'll actually take you to the piece of content related to that mission. Now, we didn't just unlock 7-day missions at level 9, we also unlocked a new game mode called Battle Bonanza. So if we go into Dreamscape, we will see Battle Bonanza down here on the bottom track. And the way I like to think of these game modes is the top track, those are basically free. You can play those as much as you want. Some of them do have limitations, but for the most part, you could go back and play the story as much as you want. You can progress on the story without any sort of energy system, stamina system that's been used across other mobile games. However, these bottom 4 game modes are all going to use this energy system. And you'll see it up in the top right. You'll often hear it described as orb power. You need to spend so much orb power. As you can see, consuming 30 of our dream gems will recover 60 orb power, and we can only do that up to 8 times a day. Right now, I have more than I need, and that's because throughout the level up rewards, you're going to get some. You're going to get some in the battle pass. You're going to get some as mission rewards. But how you spend those modes, like Battle Bonanza. So the way that all 4 of these game modes work is on the left-hand side, you're going to get some sort of resources that you can work towards. And we've talked about these 2 resources already. In Battle Bonanza, the 2 resources are our tactic reports that we use to level up our heroes, as well as coins that we use to level up our heroes and do other things with. Different difficulty settings, and those difficulty settings are locked behind team levels. As you can see, I have not unlocked difficulty setting 3 yet because I need to be level 28. When you first start off, you only have access to the first difficulty setting of both the coins and the tactic reports. And what you can do in this game mode is you can run this specifically to farm that resource. Obviously, that's why the energy system is in place, so that you can't just run this over and over and over and essentially grind out an unlimited number of that resource. Of course, you can with money, because you can just keep refilling your energy system. But if you come in and just run this a couple of times a day across all the different game modes, you will definitely use up your orb power. I do think if you're trying to level up all your heroes at once, that would be a problem, and that's where you would need money in order to do that. So it's really good to pick like a handful of heroes to focus on and level them up as much as you need to. That is a lesson that I learned a long time ago in mobile free-to-play games. Only invest in your characters as much as you need to. If you only need a character to be level 8 to complete content, there is no reason to push them higher. You don't have to go level up your heroes every time that you level up, right? You're going to be hitting these levels very quickly in the first couple of days. So going back and stopping your story campaign just to go back and level up every time, it doesn't make sense. If you are strong enough to complete the content, hold on to your resources. Worst case scenario, you fail the content. If it's not an energy system like this, you fail the content, and then you level up your heroes a little bit, and you push, right, to see if you can go again. So anyway, getting back to Battle Bonanza, this is where we come to grind out tactic reports or grind out coins. The first time that you win, so we'll see this over here on difficulty 2. The first time that you win, you're actually going to get some first time rewards. So the first time that you get 2 stars, you're going to get 10 dream gems for this difficulty and 20 for 3 stars. The last feature we need to talk about for level 9 are save teams. And you can find those under the main menu and create team. Here you can have up to 9 save teams. You can give them a custom name. You can set your 3 heroes for that team. I can, of course, come in and edit and choose the heroes that I want. So, for instance, I've been playing a lot with Moon Girl in place of a ranged DPS. And there we go. Now I've saved my current team. And when I go into a game, I can use these saved teams. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So we'll come into Dreamscape. Let's just go down to Battle Bonanza real quick, and we'll launch a challenge. This will just get us into a game super quickly without having to worry about any special mechanics. And so you can see here, there is a little flag team icon on the left. And if I come in, I can use one of my saved teams. And that'll just instantly load them in. As the hero roster builds and you're leveling up more of your heroes, scrolling left and right, that's going to get annoying. So having these preset save teams are super helpful. I'm watching this back while I'm editing, and I thought about removing this gameplay because who really wants to see this, especially considering the fact that I just sit there in dead silence. I cannot commentary and play the game at the same time. I guess that speaks to the complexity of the combat. So, how about we have a little talk about it, and I'll give you my thoughts. I'm going to talk about this later, but I love watching the ultimate animations once a day, and there's a cool setting that you can use for that. Why do I love armor? I've built her up so that her defense is really high, and when you look at a lot of her abilities, they're all based on her defensive stat. She just is so cool at taunting, getting the entire room of enemies to look at her. And then I was spoiled with Emma Frost. I don't have her on my main account, and I miss her every battle that goes by that I don't have her, and I'm having to use a different controller. There's armor going into full AoE mode. Not needed against a single target, but it still looks cool. And the combo of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, they each have their own strengths. It's such a winning combination. I love this team so much. I was getting a lot of FOMO playing this on my test account as I don't have these on my main. Anyway, let's get back to this full. Level 10. Memento, Friends, and Treasure Hunt. So for level 10, let's talk first about Treasure Hunt. Since we just talked about Battle Bonanza, Treasure Hunt is very, very similar, except instead of leveling up for coins or tactical reports, we're leveling up for our Ascendance materials. Every 10 levels that you level your hero up, in order to progress higher than that max level of 10, 20, 30, you're going to have to ascend those heroes. And so we've got a new resource to collect, Ascension materials. Now what's cool is Ascension materials are shared across classes. So just like we talked about in our other video, the classes are Striker, Fighter, Defender, and Controller. I keep wanting to say support. Don't say healer. And so what's great is that means that these Ascension materials are shared across them. It also means that if you have a lot of favorite heroes in the same class, you're going to need a lot of that same Ascension material. So for instance, for our ranged DPS, our strikers, we need this like horn. What is it called? Scattered horn. For our defenders, we need the iodium ore. Hopefully I'm saying that right. For our controllers, we need the Everbloom seed. Seems like a healer thing, but don't call them healers. And for our fighters, we need the Infinity Formula drop. Now, for level 10, we need the green version of these. You'll see that at higher difficulty settings of Treasure Hunt, guess what? There's a blue version. I'm going to guess that's ascending from level 30 and up. Eventually, there is a purple version. So I'm going to guess that's for level 60 and up since we're getting it at level 59 difficulty setting. I don't see a higher version than that, so that's good to know. But you're going to get a bunch of the green ones, and don't worry, there's a system later that we can use our extras. Of course, I expect that more and more heroes are going to come out over time. I don't think it's a coincidence that this game came out right before Fantastic Four. As a Marvel gamer in other Marvel games like Snap, Rivals, and Strike Force, I know that all three of those have Fantastic Four events coinciding with the movie. And I doubt that this brand new game doesn't already have something planned. And so when the Fantastic Four come out, you are going to want more of these green items, right? So these lower difficulty settings are always going to matter. You can see it at level 7 Treasure Hunt for the fighters. I'm only getting 2 of the green level, right? But if I go back all the way to difficulty setting 1, I was already getting 2, right? Difficulty setting 2, I'm getting 4. So this will allow you to come in and like target farm the specific materials that you need when you need them in the amounts that you need them. One thing that I will also note is no matter what the difficulty setting is, it doesn't change the amount of orbs that you need, and I like that. So that's Treasure Hunt, very similar to Battle Bonanza, but for a different type of resource. And if you're smart, I'm assuming you can kind of guess what these other two are going to be as well. Probably farming other resources. But we'll get to those when we unlock them. Next up, let's talk about Memento. We were already there. It's right next to the story mode. It is a new type of story mode. Memento is really cool and unique in that you're recovering these like lost fragmented memories, but you're doing it in a way where you actually have to like plan your route out on a map, and you might have some side objectives, you might even have some chests to win dream gems, but essentially you're kind of going towards just defeating a big boss at the end, and there might be some new mechanics along the way. It's really fun. It's a great way to get some rewards, of course, but also it's going to give you this beautiful artwork that's unlocked through these puzzle pieces. And I don't want to go through and spoil too much here, so we'll just leave it at that. But just like the story mode, this has chapters, and so as you level up, you'll unlock new chapters, and you'll be able to experience lost memories, not just from Scarlet Witch, but from other characters. Finally, let's talk about Friends. What is a mobile game without some sort of social aspect to it? The friend system is really nice. There is a hard limit of 99, but as far as discovery, it looks like you just need to know their name. These people that I'm friends with, I don't know any of them in person except like in real life except for one. And so I'm open to accept any friends because one of the cool things about friends is you can send gifts and receive gifts from your friends every day. And those gifts come in the form of orb energy, which we were just talking about needing, right? So running one of those resource missions let me use the right terminology. Running one of those treasure hunts or battle bonanzas is going to cost you 30. So for every 10 friends you have, that's another one of those that you can run for free. Now, you could come in and click each of these individually, but luckily, like a lot of things in this game, they've given us a shortcut. Gift and claim all, and that will grab everything that my friends have sent me, and it will also send it back to them, right? So it's going to send them a daily gift and claim all the daily gifts that I've gotten. So feel free to send me friend requests, and I'm going to come in and click that button every time that I see it lit up. Now, we've talked about the first 10 levels, and this video is already getting long, so I think this is a good place to pause for day one. Tomorrow for day 2, let's go through levels 11 through 20. That will also give me time to get a little more experience and understand what I feel like is important for you to grasp from these items as you're unlocking them. I want to leave you with one more tidbit though, and that's some of my favorite settings. So up in the top right corner, you'll be able to open this menu and click on this cogwheel to open up settings. Now, graphics and sound, those are going to be individual preferences. For myself, I like to turn the music down, but I want to hear the voices, I want to hear the sound effects more than anything else. But what I really want to focus on are this very first setting, the battle settings. At the beginning, it's always going to play the ultimate move full screen animation where, the whole game pauses and you're watching this cool cinematic, and it is really cool. But it's also really repetitive to see that every time you use your ultimate. I've had some games where I use 10 to 20 ultimates a game, and to sit there and watch that cutscene every time, I'm gonna get bored quickly. I like that they've given me this option. One, I could put it on Do Not Play and never see them again. I don't really like that. Days might go by and I don't see Scarlet Witch's ultimate cinematic. I'm gonna get kind of sad about that, right? So I like this middle option, first time daily. So the first time I see that character's ultimate that day, I'm gonna get that full animation. And then after that, I get a smaller animation that is off to the side, and it doesn't interrupt gameplay. I'm still moving, I can still do other things while that animation plays, right? It's nice. The next thing I would say is detailed skill descriptions in battle. This is just going to give you the raw numbers. It's going to show you exactly what's happening when you hover over those skills in battle. When you long press on that skill and you see that that information, it's no longer just going to be a summary. It's just going to add a little bit more detail. These two have been very helpful for me when I was starting out at the very beginning. So I hope this has helped you, this day 1 beginner's guide on what I think are the most important things for you to take away from the first 10 levels. Keep having fun. You're going to level way past level 10 extremely fast. And tomorrow, let's look at everything that's unlocked from level 11 to level 20. And boy, is there a lot. Enjoy Mystic Mayhem and come back to Mystic Reads and see as we upload every day what type of things that we're learning about this game as we experience it together. Let me know if there's something that you found that I missed, if there's maybe something that I glossed over that you felt like I didn't give it enough detail. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you. Have a great time.